News headlines. UN report urge global action on women's rights in Afghanistan. United Nations demand humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Taliban spokesman denies Afghan involvement in their Ismail Khan attack. Hello, my name is Mahanuri from First Time News Network. Today is 30 December 2023. A joint report by UN Women, the International Organization for Migration, and the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan has revealed significant challenges faced by Afghan women, calling for global attention and action. The report, Situation of Women in Afghanistan, emphasized the importance of education and employment in addressing a range of issues including mental health crisis, poverty, early marriage, child labor, domestic violence, and illegal migration. The report stressed that education and economic empowerment are crucial and household and community decision-making. The statement expressed concern over current restriction on women and girls, potentially reinforcing stereotypes of women's lack of knowledge and power. This could leave a generation of women without the qualification and skill for leadership roles. Over the past year, women have reported a noticeable decline their influence within their homes and communities. From January to November 2023, the proportion of women reporting good or full influence in households plummeted from 90% to 39%. Community influence dropped from 17% to 5%. Furthermore, 48% of women felt the restrictions have become more stringent, while 32% sensed the potential easing. However, an alarming continuation of poor mental health among women and noted with a 76% rating their mental health as very bad or bad. The report also highlighted that the 53% of respondents believe Afghan women are aware of climate change causes and impact, suggesting their potential role in disaster risk reduction and environmental management. Recent earthquakes and forced return of Afghan nationals from Pakistan, predominantly women and children, have exacerbated crisis. Discriminatory policies, including the ban on women workers at the NGOs, hinder gender responsive humanitarian assistance. Afghan women have called the international community to pressure the Taliban by linking aid to improved conditions for women and facilitating direct communication with Taliban representatives. They also urged the UN international representative to negotiate with the Taliban for exemption and to advocate for women's rights. The report concluded by emphasizing the need for international support for women's economic empowerment, to address poverty, mental health issues, and increase women's influence in decision-making access. The United Nations on Tuesday demanded an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war after more than 3/4 for a 193-member General Assembly backed the move, which had been voted by the United States Security Council last week. The United States does not have the vote in General Assembly and voted against the resolution along with Israel and 8 other countries. The resolution was adopted at a round of the polls with 153 votes in favor, while 23 countries abstained from the vote. Israel has bombarded Gaza from the air, imposed a siege, and launched a ground offensive in retaliation for October 7 attack by Hamas. And Israel says 1,200 people saw 240 people taken hostage. Gaza's health minister says 18,205 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 50,000 wounded. General Assembly resolutions are not binding yet to carry political weight, reflecting a global view in the war. U.S. Ambassador to UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield told the General Assembly before the vote that there was an aspect for a resolution that the U.S. supported, such as the need to urgently address the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza, protect civilians, and free hostages. The General Assembly resolution also demanded the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages and that the warring parties complete international law, specifically with the regard to protection of civilians. Pakistan's UN Ambassador Munir Akram urged against both the proposed amendment and to name Hamas, saying that any blame has to be placed on both parties, especially on Israel. Most of the 2.3 million people in Gaza have been driven from their homes, and United Nations has given dire warnings about the humanitarian situation in the coastal enclave, saying that hundreds of thousands of people are starving. The United States and Israel oppose a ceasefire because they believe it would only benefit Hamas. Washington state support opposes and fighting to protect civilians and allowed the release of hostage taken by Palestinian military on October 7. Zabihullah Mujahid, the Taliban spokesman, has categorically denied the group's involvement at the recent deadly attack in Deir Ismail Khan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This statement comes in response to Pakistan Minister of Foreign Affairs summoning the Taliban embassy, chargé d'affaires in Islamabad, demanding the extradition of those responsible for the attack. Pakistan military confirmed that at least 23 policemen were killed in the suicide bombing at the Deir Ismail Khan police station on Tuesday. Contrary to Mujahid claims, documents obtained by Afghanistan International Pashto section suggest an Afghan Taliban member resident of the Musa Qala district and Helmand province executed the attack. In a Wednesday interview with the Taliban run radio television Afghanistan, Mujahid expressed the condolences for the attack. He asserted that the Taliban would initiate the investigation if Pakistan provides detailed information about the incident. Mujahid also remarked on Pakistan's strong security presence in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, implying their capability to prevent such attacks. Mujahid emphasized that attributing every issue to another country is not a constructive approach. Meanwhile, Khwaja Muhammad Asif, Pakistan's former defense minister, asserted Afghanistan is the sole origin of terrorism. Asif urged the Taliban as a neighboring brother not to allow the authority to be used against Pakistan.